Welcome to Michael Rosmer and John Sue's video battlethon. Video number 31, inspired by Gary Vaynerchuk. So today's topic is about how did this generation of entitled people get created? And I guess to build the background around that, I want to give some details on, I guess, my thoughts on how it got created. When you look at, I guess when my parents were born, it's the industrial age, and when the educational system was created, it was based on pretty much producing factory workers, right? So that's why you always hear people say, school doesn't teach you anything. It just pretty much gets you in there and makes you a carbon copy of everything else. But, there's no applicability to today's jobs that are coming out, right? So, my parents coming from Vietnam, they be working hard and they work extremely hard. They have a crazy drive to work, where for whatever reason, my body was not designed for labor work. And yeah, if I had to do labor work, I'd probably be fired. I'd be unemployed. But thank God, I'm a realtor, so we can use our minds to work more than our bodies. But going back to my parents being really hard workers and coming to a country where they know how hard that they've worked and how they continue to, have the same work ethic. And they out of good intentions, want me to have a better opportunity. So what they did, is when, you've worked really hard and you don't want life to be as hard as it was for you, you do things for your children and you help them out. You give them handouts, is what I call them, right? So you give them handouts and they're used to getting things so easy and so simply without working for it. So when you're always getting stuff without working for it, you're kind of like, wow, this is pretty damn easy, right? And then you also have stuff like social media with, these stars showing how great their lives are, overnight sensations, and you kind of start to think, wow, that's reality. So there your parents are now giving you things and telling you can be anything you want in your life. You just got to work for it. But in real life, they give you everything. You didn't have to work for anything. So you've got this belief that you can be anything. Then you go to school, which is designed to pretty much, produce factory workers, right? And, factory worker skills, aren't designed to kind of make anything. The world is not your oyster. You kind of go in and you do what you do and then you leave, right? Like when my parents were growing up, the typical life path was, you go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, and then you pretty much die. But now that, with everything changing at such a rapid rate, I think the expectation upon this generation now is way different from when my parents grew up, because now that's not the dream. Kids these days have ideas of changing the world and doing things bigger than their parents ever even imagined, right? You look at Gary Vaynerchuk, a lot of these people in the US wanting to be entrepreneurs, but their school doesn't train them to have those skills, because really school trains you to, be an industrial factory worker. So stuff like repetition, discipline, focus, right? Those are typically the things that entrepreneurs hate. So when you look at a school system that is training people to not, adjust quickly because our world is changing so quick, and then you have the expectation set by the parents of doing everything for the kids and telling them that they can have anything and giving them stuff and building up what I call false confidence, because in the real world, nothing's easy. Nothing of value is easy, sorry. There's stuff, that you don't care about, that's easy. But you have the false expectation, a school system not designed for, quick adaptation and change. And then you have this vision of changing the world. So, if you ask me, all of those three things kind of create someone who thinks, why would I do these low-end jobs? Or why would I do less than I deserve? Because I deserve the world. And growing up at mom's house, I got everything I always wanted to get. So, not blaming one thing, saying, oh, the school system doesn't train us, or our parents, or social media. It's a combination of things, right? So it's the cycle of going from, simple life, work, married, have kids, to now I want to change the world. But our school system hasn't adjusted to teach us that. And then real life is just a harsh lesson on, hey, you don't get everything you want, right? And then failure is kind of like that nightmare you never could imagine. So that's my 2 cents on how this generation of entitlement had got created. And yeah, it's not a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just one of those things where life, in my opinion, is the greatest teacher, and it could teach you all the things you need to learn. And it don't lie to you like mom and dad. You pretty much, if you can't do it, it says you can't do it, and if you suck at it, it says you suck. Because in the real world, people don't gotta be nice to you. People don't gotta be polite. It's pretty much get the job done. And with technology and just the world changing, and the world's expectations, coming on this new generation to do more in the same 24 hours everyone else had, I think it's an unreasonable expectation for, the parents thinking, oh, why are these kids, breaking down or are all entitled, when, you look at the bigger picture, back in their days when they're growing up, they're not doing or thinking about the things that we were doing or thinking about, nor do they have all the distractions or tools that we have. Right? So that's my 2 cents. And yeah, would love to hear what you guys think about it.